Good morning. Apologize. Trying to get on here a little bit earlier, but I'm still feeling a little bit sick. Hope everybody's having a good morning. I spent the weekend working on some new studies and got a few things to show you guys a little bit later. But for now, let's try to catch this open. Somebody said they wanted some classic rock, so doing more rock vibe today. It's Monday morning. Turn it down just a little bit. I don't want to blow your eardrums out. But let's see what is going on here. Let me pull up chat. There you are. Hey guys, what's up, Ben, Charles, Happy Wolf? Hope you guys are all doing good this morning. Oh, sorry. Why does that still show? You guys still looking at the disclaimer? Why is that not changing? I wonder. Okay, whoops. I'm sorry. I was looking at the disclaimer because I had the slider all the way back in the video. All right, I'm all set now. I do have some hotkeys set up. Trying to simplify some things. So again, it's a work in progress. All right. Good deal. So in the overnight session, we sold off down to a prior area value from Thursday. It looks like it hit the VWAP, which is this purple line right here, and started a rally. So price generally likes to go from value to value. So I think up here, which is where we were at on Friday, was a little too expensive. And so it left this area of value on our TPO chart and sold off overnight down to here. Based on that alone, I feel like it's probably going to want to go higher and retest some of these other voids here in the TPO. VWAP wise, we are right here. We've got the previous month's VWAP, which is what it tapped into in the overnight, quarterly VWAP, previous week's VWAP, and we're trading above previous session VWAP. We're right there at it. So I feel like the order flow is wanting to go up. Let's check it out. Yeah, I'm gonna enter with 1 micro. Man, that was some terrible slippage, but that's all right. Let me know if that music's too loud for you guys. So out of the gate, we've got positive. So today, our trades delta is in purple. Our volume delta is here in this green line. Little different look. Just trying to make it a little more simple for you guys. These must be set off. All right. I did take some trades last night, and I'm actually up about $1,400 on the account this morning, $1,436, which takes our total balance to $9,762. So ticks have been negative. So we're hitting a previous session VWAP from Friday. And if you'll notice, we are also hitting session neutral. Let's see if there's some selling here, if it pushes through. So we're hitting session neutral. Delta neutral, that is. Looks like it's ripping through it. Hey, Tactical Trader. It's the first time I've seen you on here, man. I appreciate you being here this morning. I'm going to switch this right chart to RTH only, just again so we can kind of see where things are at. All right. Something else you guys can look at too is these RTH VWAPs. They're a little bit different than the I'm just going to kind of ignore the tick for a second here and zoom in on this. So our trades delta is starting to roll over a little bit. Again, this is just a 1 minute chart. I do have another chart that I want to show you guys in a little while. Some stuff that I worked on this weekend. So right now, volume delta is looking good. Everything looks bullish. We've got nice price alignment. I talked to you guys about that a lot, about we've got price going one direction, our delta's going another direction, although let's see, where did we close at before? Okay, so there is a gap. We've got a gap up into this area. So they might try to fill that. Up $120 on a micro. Don't tell me you can't make money on micros, because you absolutely can. It's a 15-minute chart on the right. You can see that there is not... you just got to go with the momentum. That's kind of... so, okay, so that's a great question. So right now you can see that price is going up. Our deltas are both going up. Again, it's a 1 minute chart, so you may not pick out some super subtle divergences, but you know, if price kind of falls back against it, right? Don't be afraid to put on something, right? I'm not saying that you need to put on a full size. If you really feel like you've missed it, then I would just go with the micro, right? We're trading above the previous session VWAP, so that's a good thing. You guys can see all of this, you know, kind of VWAP support underneath us. Between 720 and 730, enter long to 830. Okay, well, we're past that right now. So did you take a trade based on that? So we're hitting 2K on Delta. And let's look left. Let's see, what do we have here? We've got some kind of equal highs. Nice, brother. I'm happy to hear that. Huh, that's cool, Dave. I've not started using Claude for anything like that, but I think that that's pretty neat. So let's see if we get a little divergence here with trades delta. It just in that, I mean, they're both still trending up, but you guys can see where trades is starting to kind of tug on price a little bit. And that's just absorption. It doesn't mean that it's going to reverse and price is going to tank from here. So please don't take it as that. It's just that I mean, there's a little bit of selling. So, could potentially get some kind of a retracement in these and then see if these aggressive buyers mean business. And if they do, then you would expect for things to continue to go higher. Still holding a micro long. We're up 170 bucks on it. See if there's anything on the VWAP that shows us anything we need to worry about. We're not quite up to this high volume node yet up here. We're not quite there yet. Let's look at the TPO. TPO wise, we're getting back inside the initial balance, which I'm pretty sure that this is what I've got marked as the initial balance from Friday. So we're back inside of Friday's kind of operating range. Let's see if trades makes a new high here. Still holding. We've got 25,900 price level right here. Try to set some colors up that I felt like you guys could see a little better. Still not 100% complete, but I wanted to get away from the order flow lapse theme. Yes. So I have the TPO set to full session profile. I'll zoom in a little bit on it. You guys can see it a little better. So slight divergence in trades. Do not feel that I need to add just yet. Ooh, I wish I'd have seen that. I might have added there on that little push down like that. Especially with the kind of a level like this right there, but it's okay. I'm pretty happy with my trades from last night. So again, I hope everybody had a great weekend. Ours was filled with sniffles and snot. My kids are wrecked. Did manage to go to church yesterday, but everybody stayed home. You guys can see the order flow shifting a little bit. Price continuing to go higher. There was a famous streamer this morning talking about how because we had swept some equal highs here, that price had to go back down and sweep these equal lows down here, and that is not the case yet again. Very, very, I would say, almost impossible to predict what it's going to do from one day to the next. So all that you can do is try to buy low and sell high and follow the order flow. That's why, again, my best trades are always going to come from when I've got large extensions like this sell-off this morning down into the value area from Thursday, right? Big sell-off overnight. I didn't get a chance to look at the order flow here, but I guarantee you that down in here, guys, there's going to be some big divergences. There are going to be some things that it's a much easier trade, right? You've got much better risk to reward out of something like that. Okay, getting a little pushback here. I'm going to go down to a lower time frame chart and see if we want to add. Let's go down to the volume chart here. I'm going to go down to, let's go to 500. See if we can pick up. So this is a 500 volume chart. Let's see if we can get another little. So we've got a slight divergence here. Again, this is that kind of exhaustion divergence. Give me a push down here. Let me add into this. Let's see if we can do. Again, I'm trying to give you guys as many kind of confluence things as we can. Let's do an FBRP here. So we've got a little low volume node right here, fellas. See if we can. Yeah, I'll go ahead and add. I'll add 2 right there. Just based on push down to session VWAP or RTH VWAP, and we're close here, right? We're close here to neutral, and we've got this kind of low volume area here that we can use kind of as a backstop. Things start getting squirrely and carried away from us. We're also back down to the value area low. Again, hope you guys can see that on the left side. We're back down to our value area low. So added a little bit, not too heavy. Let's see if we can get a rotation up here. Oops, I don't want to erase that. Whoa. Hold on a second, fellas. We got some rap in here. Just a moment. Let me. Oh boy. Let's go back to this. There we go. The only news that we have today is bonds at 1, I think. So the buyers out of the gate, they're given an opportunity here to show us how serious they are. I'm going to put it like that. Okay, so you guys can see we've got 2 big value areas below us. We've got one right here from Thursday. We've got, and then this one from the overnight below us. So we've got 2 value areas supporting price. And again, path of least resistance, right? Where's our resistance at? Right here, right here. You could take these profiles and combine them into one profile for a composite look. So let's see what that looks like. Oops. Let's see, I forgot my hotkeys for this. Okay. Well, looks like that ad worked out. If you guys weren't in a long yet, I hope that you took an opportunity to take a little profit. Still holding a 1 micro now. I took 2 micros off. So we're at 1700 on the day. We didn't even get back down to this LVN here. You got in on it, Charles? Good man. I like it. Nice trade, brother. So again, we had this divergence here, guys, but man, look at that. Guys, come on. Sweet. We got the gap overhead. I would expect there to be some selling here at this 25,900 level. So let's take a look here at this. So we have our RTH high on trades. I'm sorry, volume delta. And we're back to RTH high on trades. That's all right. what this yellow line is here. Oh, it's the so we're now back up above 25,900. Still holding a micro. So we've got a little more. So our trades delta hit our THI, which is this line right here. And our volume delta has not reclaimed its high. Let's do an FVRP for this, which probably is not going to show us a lot. Oops. So that's how the volume profile looks for this leg up. It's like the buyers were serious, right? They like shot it up, came back, retested, VWAP, rallied. So that tells me that they're, at least for the moment, seeking value higher. Where can that be? Where is higher value at? Well, I think this point of control right here, for sure. Point of control here, and then looks like we've got another naked point of control overhead. Yep. So these are two kind of key points. VWAP wise. So now we're getting into that kind of high volume node area. But I don't see any other VWAPs overhead. Let me take a kind of a, let me go to an hourly here. Let me know if you guys have any questions. So this is an hourly. Nothing conclusive. Looks like there is, I would be surprised if we got up this high today, so I'm not even going to worry about it. We've got some stuff over here back at all-time highs. Bunch of equal highs there. Just trying to get an idea of where it might be headed. All right, let's look at the bars here. Let's see if we can. Again, if I'm getting long, I want to see a bar push down hard, right? I want to see it push down hard and then fail, right? And I want some confluence, ideally with, you know, I'm not saying that this is it, but ideally with an area like a low volume node, a area on my delta chart, right? Some kind of confluence, but I want to see that candle push down hard and then fail and close on its highs, right? I call that a trigger bar. I'm gonna get rid of these guys. Still holding the micro here. Appreciate you guys being here. Again, it means a lot that you're choosing to spend your time with this salty old dog. If you guys can like the video, I appreciate it. I had 10 people watching on Friday and 2 likes, so I was a little disappointed. Just kidding. We still have this LVN down here. Again, you guys can see how that divergence, that exhaustion divergence that we had right here, just got canceled out. Canceled out. Thanks, Charles. Hey man, when you start a YouTube channel, I think you should. I'll come like your videos. You're welcome, Dave. It's my pleasure. Like I said, it helps me too. Helps me grow and become a better trader and all those things. I gotta fix that clock. I'm not happy about how that looks. So 1 second, global settings, graphics setting, below chart background. 23, 23, 23. There we go. Hey, when you guys make changes to your, okay, so I try to do all of my graphics setting in Sierra chart in global. And then I will save it, right? Like this is my Spec Ops theme, dark mode, light mode. But if you guys get used to or make it a habit of making your changes in global, then you can save it. That way you can just flip back and forth depending on what you're feeling. Hey, some days I like a light chart, I'm not gonna lie. The only thing is that it does not unfortunately save your chart drawing setting, or I'm sorry. So your chart drawings, as far as I can tell, there's not a way to have different themes or profiles with the chart drawings. So you're kind of stuck with, you know, blue lines, white lines, whatever. So I guess get used to adjusting your graphic settings for your charts in your global graphic settings, and then when it comes to your chart drawings, just use basic colors. Like some people get really crazy and customize all their chart drawings out, and I found that when I get crazy with my chart drawing colors, it makes it difficult for me to transition from one graphic setting to the next. So I hope that makes sense. But this is not session VWAP. You guys need to understand that. It's RTH VWAP. Because I switched to RTH. So I don't want to confuse anybody. And then this is actually previous RTH VWAP. I'm just going to mark it previous VWAP. I'll just leave it like that. That way we can go back and forth. It's easier for me to do it like this, right? Look at session delta, and then just go back and forth, right? Rather than me having another little chart book here, or another little chart here for you guys. What do you mean by trade data? As far as like win losses, all that stuff, or? So we're hitting RTH neutral on both of these guys. Let's see what our candle does. It's a 500 volume candle. So see how they're kind of retesting neutral? I'm going to add one. I bought one micro right there. That's a good question. So I've been at this now for a minute, guys. And I've gone through all of the journaling phase, tracking stats phase, Excel spreadsheet phase. I've done all that, and at this point, the only thing that I worry about, again, worry is not the right word. Okay, so we're breaking neutral now. So that's kind of, I'm not going to say that's concerning, but some selling's coming in. I don't worry about any of it, but this number one stat that I pay attention to is simply my P&L. The payouts that are hitting my bank account, right? The growth of my personal account. Because really I'm like, you know, somewhere in between an intraday scalper and a positional trader, meaning that, you know, I try to build a position during the day and let it run as long as possible. I just don't worry about the stats that much anymore. There's some days that I might have a 90 or 95 or even 100% win rate. It really just depends on how patient I am with the trades. There's some days that I might have a 65% win rate, which is probably low for me. If I'm DCA in a lot, then that'll bring my win rate down. But I don't worry about risk to reward, or I'm sorry, I don't worry about risk to reward from a stat standpoint. I look at risk to reward from a trade location standpoint. Right? Like the trade that we're in right now, you can see has less risk to reward than the open trade, right? This was our trade location from the open. Okay, so you can see, I don't know if you guys can see that line or not, but this was our trade location out of the open, right? That's got a better risk to reward than the trade that we're in currently. So yeah, I don't get wrapped around the axle about stats, just the P&L. Just make sure that you've got, you know, tick data updated or set to tick by tick data. This is a 500 volume chart, so that may have something to do with it. Okay, so deltas are negative now. Although our trades delta is kind of lifting. Volume delta here. We're at 2 micros. Yeah, if it comes up here and kind of retests this, you know, this area here on Delta, it's not maybe not a bad idea. I think it's important to, again, just remember, like, you know, price is telling us right now that it wants to go up. There is some selling coming in for sure. Still holding at 2 micros long. Obviously, I'm not going to let myself start taking a bunch of heat on a trade like this. I like it that we're trading above RTH VWAP. I like it we're trading above current day's VWAP. I know what this is telling me down here, which is that there's selling coming in, but let's see again how serious the buyers are. Remember what I told you guys is that you'll get, you know, when you get an aggressive push up in price, like this big leg up, it takes time for liquidity to come in. And those limit orders kind of come in and backfill these trade locations or these, you know, these aggressive legs up in price. So price will kind of settle back down into, you know, this liquidity that's come in, these limit orders that are supporting price. Oops. All right, I'm gonna close this because I want to show you guys something else that I've been kind of working on. So I'm just gonna exit that trade altogether. So we finished $1,723. I'm gonna switch this screen to another chart. Again, you guys have not seen this chart yet. Give me just a second here. I gotta set up a, apologize, I wasn't really planning on doing this, but I want to show you guys something I'm kind of working on. So let's set window capture. Definitely some selling. It's the best way for me to do this. Okay, let me make a couple of adjustments on this one. Okay. Happy to answer any questions that you guys have while I'm tinkering with this thing. I just want to make sure that it looks right so I can talk to you guys about it. Looks like there's still got momentum to the upside here. Let's see what happens when we cross this delta neutral area. All right. Okay, let me just square this thing up here. Okay, we can go back to the other chart anytime you guys want to. Put this in the middle. Wish there was a center function. All right. And let me set a hotkey up for this so that way I can flip it back and forth to this. Okay. Hyperwolf told me, hey man, you need to work on your hotkeys. I said, all right. So I'm working on my hotkeys on OBS, right? See, look at this. I can flip back and forth with precision. All right, we can always come back to this chart anytime you guys want to. I want to talk to you a little bit about this guy right here. And let me pull up chat. Can you guys see this chart okay? All right, good. So this is just something that I've been kind of working on. I kind of want to show it to you a little bit because a lot of you guys know that I used to use Dutch Daniels charts, and I think that his chart books are good. But I think that you can do better. And one of the things that I've been working on, let me turn the music down just a little. One of the things that I've been working on is interpreting order flow at swing points better. So I think that I'm showing you guys a unique way to use volume delta and trades delta. I've not really seen anything like it. And so this is just kind of an extension of that. And it's not finished. Obviously, it's very primitive. But what this chart is showing us, so it's got red and green candles and red and green bars. They're not your typical, candlestick bars in the sense that they are showing you, green candles mean that a candle closed above its open and a red candle closed below its open. That's not how they're labeled. They are labeled or painted based on order flow momentum or order flow velocity. That's kind of how I like to think of it. So there may be some candles that are going down, like this one, the one that we're looking at right now. I'll try to zoom in a bit. So the candle's going down, but it's still being painted green. So what does that mean? The way that I have it set up is that that's telling us that even though the candle is going down, there's a tremendous amount of positive delta momentum. All right. So it's like Dutch's chart is basically a 30-period RSI overlaid on CVD. So it's painting and it's telling, which is good, right? It's painting and telling you that that the CVD is at an overbought, potentially overbought or oversold condition. This is not based on on another study or an indicator. It's actual order flow velocity. So when you have like the last candle, this one, red one right here, right? It's a red candle, but it closed up, and it closed up on increased selling velocity. So that tells you that there's absorption present. Also, the idea is that to read these divergences. So here is a good example of one right here, where, and I know it's kind of hard to see. I'm going to work on the coloring of it, but basically we've got a little low right here and a little low right here, and when you match those up, we've got this. So we end up with a divergence. And what is that? This is different. Okay, now this is very different than a CVD divergence, because this right here is tracking the velocity or the speed of the orders themselves, the bottom part. All right. And so what it is telling you is that on this leg down, yes, there was selling, which is evidenced by this negative delta here. All right. And then that peaks, that selling velocity peaks like right, erase that. That selling velocity peaks right here. Okay. Lines up with that pink candle. But then you can see that there is a shift in the actual speed of the orders themselves, the velocity of the orders coming in. There's a subtle shift. And what happens, right? What happens, you can see the divergence here between the velocity and speed with what price is doing, and then it rallies. So it's kind of like I consider volume delta to be a leading indicator, but this is like leading the leading indicator, if that makes sense. So it's something I'm working on. Wanted to share it with you guys. This is completely proprietary. I've not shown it to anybody yet. But it's something that I'm working on. Just the goal is to have a more intuitive trading system that I can show people, help people with, And yeah, so the bars are based on velocity of the orders themselves. So when you've got green bars, right, like this leg up right here, some of these may actually be red candle closes. I don't know. Let's look at the price chart too here. So more to come on this right here. It's not public yet. Just kind of, this is the initial kind of introduction of it. So I'm going to go back to the other chart. And let's keep continuing on. All right. So you guys can see that we've got some negative order flow coming in. Let's see if they start breaking these lows right here. Again, I don't know what's going to happen. You guys can see on our hourly chart where we're at. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I need to burp in here, guys. So we're getting back up to this high volume node. Looks like, let's see if they've filled the gap. Pretty close. I call that a gap fill. This line is probably not super active. Again, I have all my gaps and everything set up. My chart, my session times are from 9:30 to 5 p.m. for RTH, and ETH is from 6 p.m. to 9:29 and 59. You can see that there was less momentum on the way up, right? So we have a nice push up here, nice push up here, and then a little less momentum on this third push up. And we have a fair divergence between where price is at. We go from our highs. Let me get rid of these guys. So kind of a weaker push up, right? So definitely a divergence. There's also like a hidden divergence there as well. If you look at the bottoms, let's take a look at the bottoms here. Okay, you can see that we've got this kind of hidden divergence. A lot of people miss that. They're only looking at the tops. So is it a time to short? Yeah, maybe. I don't think you'd be wrong for taking a stab at a short, given the proximity to our RTH neutral zone. Now, if you wanted to wait for some confirmation that the order flow really was shifting, you could wait for a break, right? An actual break lower in the order flow. That would be a safer trade. So let's see what's happening here. Our trades delta is breaking below our volume delta. So selling momentum is coming in. There is some increased selling velocity, keeping that little chart pulled up as well. But again, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to sell off right now. Let's look at the TPO here. TPO wise, not at any significant points yet. It's holding above this 25,900. I'm just going to kind of hold out until we get an actual leg down, rotation down, just a little more confirmation. Can you guys see this color scheme theme better than the there we go, a little downward pressure now, than the one that I was using last week? The I'm not going to say that it was an order flow labs theme. It was just I like the red and the pink, or the red and the blue. Let's see what happens here with our delta. So trades looks like it's breaking its low right here, or at least it's retesting it. Cool. I want something that that you guys can see, but again, just it's a lot easier if I can just stream the widescreen. I know it's a little funky for you guys, but I can also play with the stream settings too to maybe make it a little more, a little easier to see, a little more detail, higher quality. Let's look at the tick real quick. So I'm thinking about it. Oops. Still got these in the background here. Just kind of glance at it real quick. So right off the bat, I see that we have a, looks like potentially a lower high on the ticks. So if they start breaking lower, and we're breaking lows here on Delta, this could be the top. Let's stick to the order flow stuff. Because you absolutely can be profitable without using tick at all. So trades delta's made a new low, volume delta's made a new low. Somebody's selling. Somebody's selling. Do you see how we've got this nice alignment? Yeah, it's pretty. Got this nice alignment in price in both of our deltas. This is a lot of heavy selling pressure. Not currently in any trades. Again, I've closed out those longs. Let's pull an FBRP of this just for fun and see if there's anywhere where you might want to short. So we've got our volume delta low here, and our trades delta low there. We're tapping 25,900 from the bottom. Still, yeah, let's try one micro short here. Let's see if we can, and that's just kind of based on this retracement of our trades delta back to here. Clean up these for you guys. Again, just a micro, nothing crazy. So we're getting some increasing selling velocity. Let's see if we can break some lows here. I know sometimes I'm in and out of trades quick. I tried to give you guys as much heads up as I can consciously. juggling charts and trying to do analysis and get this eval pass. So we want to see some follow through, right? We want to see these deltas. You will notice that, again, we talk a lot about these K levels. We got a nice little bounce right there, just off that K level. I really like a break of the K level and then a retest of one. So we're kind of shorted on this pullback to this kind of break and retest level here. That's kind of what I was looking at. So let's see if they follow through. Get rid of this. We know that there's kind of a high volume node up here. And sometimes it takes a while for this transition to take place, right? It is still technically a counter trend trade, right? We do not have an actual, what I would call a break of market structure, meaning we're not really below this point yet, but we'll try. Just a micro. I mean, it looks to me like we filled that gap and some sellers came in, so let's see if we can get on their side for a minute here and see where it takes us. Trades delta still tugging on volume delta. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get another monitor because I just can't keep everything up and see chat and all of that. Definitely got a lot of volume through here. We're starting to get into that lunch hour quiet time. So, you know, order flow starts to dry up. You guys have to understand that too. It starts to dry up and it starts to get a little bit harder to read as we go into lunch. We had really nice clean order flow out of the gate. I mean, really, just want to take a quick little recap here of the trades we took. We'll kind of let this, give this thing a second to simmer here. So we took a long, based on this momentum out of the gate, and then we added into that long as we pulled back to these areas. I hope you guys can see the order flow. I hope that it's beneficial for you, right? Caught that long based on that leg up in order flow. Saw a little divergence here. caught this. Our order flow is flipped negative. And now we're trying to, order flow is flipped negative. And now we're trying to see if we can catch one going the opposite direction. Guys, order flow is powerful, especially if you can distill it down to the critical components, right? And just go with the flow. Let's follow the string. Not my string, the order flow string. So let's see if we make a new low here on this order flow. I would not be surprised if it breaks this and comes all the way back down into kind of this low volume node from earlier. Again, that's not a prediction. Stay on here for a few more minutes. Hear my kids wrestling. What's up, Nee? How are you today, man? Good. I'm
Tea or Pepsi?
You are beautiful. I love you too. Thank you for taking care of me. Ah, man. Like unlucky stoners. Let's see what this does. I would be surprised if it stops here at VWAP. Not gonna lie, there was a lot of buying velocity there, but look at that. They just push it right back down in their face. Sellers are like, we've had it. Look at that. I wish you guys could see what I'm seeing, but man, the sellers just are like, all right, you fools. Still holding this little 1 micro short. Oh. Buyers coming back in. Yeah, I don't know if the sellers have got the gusto to take it out. I'm going to create a new chart book real quick, and I want to pull up both the velocity chart and the technical chart side by side. So stand by. Let's do this. Let's do chart. Duplicate all charts to. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to close this short, guys, so I can focus here. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this chart. Duplicate the chart book. Again, bear with me. Can't see if you guys have any questions. I got too many chart books open. That's the problem. Do this. Tick. Why not? All right. I think you guys can see that. So even though our delta is negative, this is fascinating, right? So even though our delta is negative, let me pull up chat. So again, two very different looking chart books here. So this one, right? This is our volume delta and our trades delta, kind of what I normally trade off of, right? You guys can see that these are both sloping down. We are below delta neutral. Right. And on this one's looking at, again, the velocity of that order flow, the speed in which it's coming in. And what you can see about this one, which is interesting, is that, at least to my eyes, looks like, again, there was quite a bit of selling velocity in here and in here. Actually, more selling velocity than buying velocity. Quite a bit more. We know it's more because I'm measuring the extremes of that. But yet, price is continuing to make new highs, and we've got a little bit of a divergence here, right? The selling velocity is looking a little weaker. So the order flow, the sell side order flow, even though our trades order flow and our volume delta is negative, we've got increased buying velocity, decreasing sales velocity. Let's see how this plays out. I'm not in a trade currently. The eval account is at basically $1,744 today. And yeah. I'm not feeling particularly inclined to take more trades. Did get a nice little reaction from VWAP. I know that the one on the left is kind of hard to see. I apologize. Again, these bars are colored based on order flow velocity. So you might see some, like this bar right now. Let's zoom in. So this bar is red, but it's going up. Why is that? It's because there's a lot of negative order flow that's coming in. So, I guess in a nutshell, if you are looking to go long, right, you want to see a bunch of order flow, negative order flow coming in, but the bar closes on its high. And I think if you're wanting to go short, you want to see a bunch of positive order flow come in, but the bar closes at its low. So again, I'm still working on it, still refining it. But two very different charts, two very different reads on the order flow. I just have this chart real quick. I was testing. Still tinkering with it. This could be our lower high. See what the order flow does. If the order flow continues to make new lows, again, look at our trades delta. Our trades delta is tugging down on the volume delta. You can see that right here. Kind of what happens. Trades delta starts dropping below. You get a little sell-off, drops below more, another little sell-off. So it's below it currently. So we've got try to get these so they look the same here, more or less. We are coming back up to RTH delta neutral. Off of really two tradable bounces, although this bounce right here, this leg up was not huge, but off the 1K level, you guys can see, ooh, look at that, right? See how we have this divergence in order flow velocity? And now look at what's coming in. A whole bunch of selling velocity. This could be a lower high. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I haven't looked at ES yet. So they're fighting each other, huh? Let me open up TradingView. Let's look at ES. Stuff. All right, brother. Appreciate you being here, Dave. Means a lot, man. Oh, come on. It's all right. There we go. So that's my NQ chart. It's just a 30-minute chart with all the different long-range VWAPs. Let's take a look at ES. Yep, ES is bullish. It's above its previous day's VWAP from Friday. Right? So we're trading above Friday's VWAP. Look at that nice bounce from the quarterly. You guys can't tell me that the institutions are not looking at this stuff, right? It's a quarterly VWAP right there. If they can buy below last quarter's or below the running quarterly VWAP, this seems pretty bullish to me. Right here, this orange line is the previous week's VWAP, fell below it briefly, tapped into this quarterly, and then as soon as we broke above that weekly against above last week's VWAP, look at what it's been doing. Just ripping. It's been 30 minutes basically straight, not straight up, but you guys know what I'm saying. It's been a nice trend. So again, having understanding where these levels are at, super important. All right, let's go back to see our chart. Okay, so we are getting some selling velocity here. Is it enough to flip it? If you guys are playing with counter trend trades right now, go light, right? Go easy. You guys can see the change in the order flow, right? The order flow state, we're negative now. We're negative on order flow. So that means that somebody is aggressively distributing. It doesn't mean that price is going to, revert from here and fall. It just means that there's some aggressive selling. So you be aware of that. You can try to position yourself on the side of that. Try to pick the top. Or you can wait for a little more confirmation. Again, it's up to you. We're going into 11 o'clock. There's bonds at 1, right? So don't be surprised if this thing kind of hangs around up here in this range, this high volume node until 1 o'clock. And you just got to ask yourself, do I want to sit here and trade through that? Or you can scout the edges of this range. It's up to you. Again, I'm not currently in a trade. Feel good about the 1700 on the eval. We're basically we're over 10K now. We're over half where we need to be. Now, we do have this little order flow divergence, so check it out. Look at what we got here. I will say this again. I'm just an observation. On this leg up, look at the order flow speed and velocity. It's going up, right? It's matching. And then we're getting something that looks a little different on this leg here, right? This leg has a little less. Uh-oh. YouTube's giving me a warning that you guys may not get smooth streaming. So if it's glitchy, I apologize, but I think this is noteworthy. Right, so on the way up, this leg here, you can see that we're losing some steam. Right? Not as much speed on those buying orders. And it doesn't mean that that this is the top and that you need to start shorting it. It's just an observation, and that's what order flow needs to be. It's just an observation, and yeah, it's a tool. I happen to be partial to it. definitely struggling here a little bit. Delta window a little bit smaller here. You had all this kind of order flow velocity right here, but didn't really move price much. It might take it up and wick this high again here. There you go. Let's see what kind of reaction we get here at Delta Neutral. There's part of me that wants to try one micro short here. Let's try that. Just because of this. Apologize to hear my daughter in the background. She's still pretty sick, and I had a rough head cold over the weekend. Slept a lot, wasn't super active. Took a bunch of Sudafed and loaded up on vitamins. You guys will be fascinated to know this, that this week I am going to do probably a 3-day sardine fast. I try to eat keto carnivore as best I can. Come out of the holidays, I try to strip all the carbs off and start leaning out for summer. Even though I'm 48, you know that chicks with big abs, especially my wife, keep her happy. So we're gonna do a little sardine only fast for the next 3 days. Try to get back into good strong ketosis. And yeah. So check it out. We got candles pushing down on positive velocity. Let's see if we get a drop. You can see our trades delta separating from our volume delta. And not heavy, just a little starter position. I used to really get into a lot of trouble with these kinds of trades because I'd be using full-size contracts, right? And then get nuked. Do not do that. If you guys are trying to pass evals or get payouts, do not do that. Be patient. Don't be afraid to put on a starter position. And just give it some room. You can always add into it. You can always add into that unit. But it's really hard to DCA from the top. DCA in an uptrend when you're trying to pick the top, which is basically what we're doing right now. We're saying, hey, order flow is looking negative, and we're calling the top. And it doesn't work, we just get out. Watch and see what happens here. Okay, we're not panicking. I'm gonna look at the TPO chart. Oh, let me go check it. Close this. I will just stick with the order flow. I'm not sure what's going on. 26,000 overhead though. Buyers keep lifting it. Okay, so we are hitting the point of control on the TPO chart from Friday. Volume delta is RTH neutral. A little bit weaker. Bit weaker buying. Not as much interest in buying it up here. They're not as aggressive. Something can be said too for looking at you know, kind of the trend on our delta chart. We can see that the trend is, I guess I can just copy and paste this. And our delta trend has kind of been up. I think I'm gonna sell two more. bring my theoretical average up a little bit. Let's just see if we get a little bit of drop. I don't want to DCA into this too much. Yeah, we've had a great day. Don't want to blow it. This is kind of more of a, I don't know, gut feeling, right? Just following the we are smack in the middle of that high volume node. Maybe we'll get a little sell off back down. You can see we got a bunch of value beneath us in this area here. Sometimes I like to draw these little boxes. See that that's basically where our value's at. Feel decent about this as long as our order flow doesn't start breaking higher, right? As long as the order flow stays under here, then I will short these tops, like, right? If you look at, whoops, this touch of neutral, what happened? We dropped. So we're tapping into kind of neutral again. Order flow is still negative, so I know that there's aggressive selling. There's also quite a bit of an order buying, right? Because that's what's holding us up. But at the same time, like, they're going to start taking profits. So let's see, curious to see what happens here on our order flow velocity chart as this thing starts to potentially roll over. Right, we filled the gap. See if we can get a little push down here, and I'll take a little profit. So look, we've got some, okay, no little divergence here in the order flow velocity. About like that, and now we're getting some increasing sales velocity, which are being confirmed over here on the right side. There we go. Okay, I'm going to cover one. Hey, we're at 1,800 bucks. Low drama short, guys. Low drama short. Right? Come on. I hope you guys can see it. Got a little more. Look at our order flow velocity now. Kind of a Steppenwolf vibe here with this Let's pull an FVRP. I'm reluctant to try along. Although, order bids, you know, limit orders definitely supporting it, even though we've got all this aggressive selling. All right, guys, I'm gonna stay on here for another 5 or 6 minutes till 11:30. And I'm gonna take off. Got a couple of errands to run today. Crazy, but a lot of sell velocity there. Sellers are getting more aggressive. If we can get a break lower the overflow, I might add until my theoretical average is stuff like that. Let's see what happens here. We are right at that negative 1K level again. Yep. Okay, so I just added one level break there. That micro short. See if our trades delta breaks its low. Our volume delta is breaking its low. A lot of selling velocity. Start the song over. I kind of like it. The song is called World Changer. Okay. I like that. Bunch of chicken on the grill last night. I got like Well, chicken breast, but fortunately I forgot that I was going to do the sardine fast this week, so probably freeze some of those and use them for salads. Not seeing a lot of buy velocity. Of course, again, not gonna let this thing go against me. Again, just not. This both of these charts are 500 volume, so there can be a little bit of noise. I mean, everybody's different on what they like, but I do like using volume charts during the day. So again, if you're looking to short, you like 250, Ben? Yeah. I think the NQ just looks great for volume on volume charts. But you guys saw that. I'm not sure if you saw that, but that last. But I hadn't forgotten. We need to have our chat, man, sometime this week or something. Just let me know when you want to do it. I can't do it today though because I got a few things I gotta do this afternoon. But this candle, right? Zoom in. Right there. Had quite a bit of positive order flow speed, but it closed lower. I take that as absorption. Let's see if we can get a break here. If not, we could add. I'm not going to continue to chase this thing short at this point. Again, it's 133. I'm sorry, not 133, 1133. I've stayed for an extra 3 minutes. So, all right. I've enjoyed my time with you guys this morning. Again, I appreciate you all being here. We had 10 people again today, so that's great. Hope you guys are, I don't know, seeing something different, something that's helpful, a little different take on how to read order flow, not make it so complicated. More to follow on the velocity chart, still ironing it out, trying to get it to depict exactly what I want it to depict. Tricky. I'm not a coder or developer, so anything that I do is going to be on my own, picking through the Sierra chart tutorials and working with AI to try to get something that's usable. And again, gives us just a different snapshot or take on things that we can use to supplement what we're already using. But, all right, guys, I'm out. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Again, keep your accounts safe. And so total today, $1,789. That's good. And we're over 10K. So we'll just keep trucking on this week. And let's see, let me get news real quick. What's coming up tomorrow and the next day, because I haven't looked that far out. Okay, tomorrow we've got core CPI at 8:30. I might try to be on before then. New home sales at 10, so tomorrow will be a good day. And then Wednesday we have PPI at 8:30. Bond auction tomorrow as well. Thursday unemployment as usual. Friday, not much. So, should be a good week. No red folder events today. Again, it's so funny. You guys have heard me, I'm not complaining, but it's baffling to me when people are like, oh, I'm not going to trade today because there's no red folder event. Well, whatever. And it's like, dude, we've had nice trending price action all day. So again, it just goes to show, guys, just show up at the markets every day with an open mind, right? An open mind, and learn to read price action, learn to read order flow, learn to determine when they're telling you two different stories. So that's it for me, guys. Close this trade here. Appreciate you guys being here again, and I will be back on in the morning. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Be safe, trade smart, okay? And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.